Welcome to Live in the Markets with Trader Nick. In this show, Nick will cover the latest market trends, whether they're rising or falling. Stick around to hear about trade ideas, latest news, and much more. Remember that trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Today's stream is made possible by our partners and sponsors. If you're looking for a new broker, trying to get funded, or looking for a trading community to join, consider checking out the links in the description below. By using these links, you'll get access to great products and be supporting the channel.
Welcome to my live streams where I take trades on real accounts, no nonsense, no fake MT4 profits. On my streams, you'll usually see me taking a look at software tools that we use to analyze the markets to try and get the latest market trends that are going on. We study things like the Commitment of Traders report, which shows us what institutional traders are buying and what they're selling. We look at seasonality to try and predict and find opportunities in the market based on historical data. Stay tuned for the second half of the stream where we'll bring in guests from all over the place to add commentary on what's going on in the markets. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another live stream. We do, in fact, have internet this time. Everything is okay, which is great news. Yesterday was a little frustrating. We had the internet go out in our building for a couple hours, which is always a tough situation to deal with, especially, when we're trying to live stream and keep up to date with what's going on in the world, the markets and stuff. So we're back, though. Everything is good. And thank you for tuning back in. And a lot of you guys stuck around for a lot of the stream, which was really cool yesterday. I appreciate you being patient with us. We are good, and we're back to sort of business as usual, if you will, today. So where's everybody tuning in from? By the way, you might be asking what's the jacket for? We're doing big picture day here in the office today. And so I dressed pretty nice. I just got done doing some of my pictures. So yeah, we're just getting our pictures done in the office. So looking a little spiffy today, if you will. And hey, maybe it'll even help with the charts. Yeah, so let's jump into some charts. Let's see what's going on with the world. I want to start out with the dollar and talk about this week in review a little bit, because this week was a really big week. If you think about in terms of the two major things, at least for the dollar, we had CPI and we also had rates, right? And interest rates and CPI, of course, they kind of go hand in hand. They're both very, very important things that talk about, of course, the Fed's plan. Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to rate hike faster, slower? And, rate hikes are a market's worst nightmare when they're going up fast, and the markets, gives them wind in the sail when they're going lower or staying steady, if you will. So the last reporting that we saw this week was CPI came out cooler than expected, and we saw interest rates get raised in the U.S. by 50 basis points, as opposed to the more concerning possibility of 75 basis points. We did not see that, and we're also expecting, I believe, the next rate hike to also be 50 basis points as well. So that's a little bit of a fundamental background. Of course, many traders on YouTube, they don't really pay attention to the fundamentals, but it's an important component that we talk about over and over on the stream, because of course, fundamentals are what really truly drive the market higher or lower. It's the wind in the sail, if you will. And technicals, sure, you can still do great with technical analysis, but why not take advantage of some of the trends that you can find in the fundamentals as well, which is what hopefully you get out of these streams. For me, the dollar right now, yes, we had a bit of a rally here, is still bearish. The dollar is still not necessarily in the clear for a bullish run by any means. We are just tagging up into a level of resistance. If we look left, you've got resistance here, right? So we broke through this area, a big clean break, pulled all the way back, saw some rejection. And for me, this is, I'm going to look at this and I'm saying this is innocent till proven guilty, right? We're just expecting the trend to continue down. If this thing breaks, right, then we'll have to reevaluate and sort of reapproach this thing differently. But for now, the dollar looks bearish as we approach the 104.6 mark. In my personal opinion, we are tagging resistance, and we should see some continued rejection as we've started to see so far. So yeah, that's my take on it. So then, how does that impact some of the currency crosses that we look at? Well, from a technical perspective, we could look at something like Euro USD and discuss sort of our bullish idea that we've had recently. A key spot on this chart for me is the previous top where we saw this level hold as resistance, very strong on the euro. We have not retested that area, but I think the market may want to. If it comes down to 1.0567, I think that that is generally considered bullish for me on the Euro USD. And again, until proven guilty. So the idea being, maybe I take let's say I'm long bias and I say, okay, buying in this area, looking for that continuation move with a stop loss below structure, something like this. Makes sort of sense to me, right? We've got the uptrend. We want to see this thing continue pretty quick. Otherwise, jumping out of the way, right? So if this thing pulls back, if you're looking at the Euro USD, we could possibly even narrow in a little bit here. Maybe the 1 hour chart could be something to pay attention to. So you could see lots of rejection up in this area. So, possibly a little bit of an a head and shoulders. And we very well could see a little bit of a swing back down further. If that happens, like I said, on the higher time frames, the 4 hour and the daily chart, we look bullish for the euro dollar. And so in my view, a pullback to this area is possibly a bounce point. We'll see if I'm correct about that. That might be something we see next week. Might be a Monday trade or something like that. But again, where we currently sit, a little choppy after all of the news events that we saw this morning. If you're looking at this thing on the lower time frame, the 1 hour chart, you might have an opportunity to trade it somewhere on the lower time frames, but I don't really see anything super interesting for me here today. We'll keep going around. We'll take a look at the pound USD, and let's start fresh in the pound and talk about the 4 hour chart. So again, a still clear uptrend overall with a lot of headwind recently. Here's the thing with the pound USD. Line in the sand, we talk about this often. A key structural level is this area here. Very, very clear level of past resistance turned support. This was a beautiful trade. If you caught that, then congrats. It's a wonderful trade there. Prices retested that area around 1.21. 21.25. So price came down there once more and has been retesting that well. So, bullish until proven guilty. And again, what I mean by that is areas like this, I don't assume that they're going to break lower. This is an uptrend overall on the 4 hour chart. My idea is stop loss below. If that breaks, then sure, I'm wrong about this bullish idea and I will step out of the way. I had somebody in my chat the other day. They were like, Nick, I saw you were bullish on gold and I took a sell and I made money. You suck, basically is what they're saying. And I was like, well, here's the thing. You missed the point of profitable trading. If you think that, one person's call on something makes or breaks them as a trader, then you are very mistaken about how this stuff works. It's all about probabilities. If I take a setup 1,000 times, am I going to walk away with profit or am I going to walk away negative? That's what profitable trading is. It's not on this next trade, prove to me that you're a great trader. That's just, that's a new trader mistake, if you will. So anyways, Shelby says, I bought pound dollar at 1.21309 and still holding on to it. Any comments from you? So that's my thoughts. I just shared them on pound USD. Bullish until proven otherwise. If it breaks under here, I would say bearish. So that's my thought. We'll take a look at some more charts. There's plenty that I'd like to look at, and then I'll take a look at my watch list as well. In fact, actually, maybe a good place to start here today would be to take a quick look at the heat map. Happy Friday, by the way. If you guys, I hope you have good plans for the weekend, and I hope that you had a healthy trading week. And if you didn't, if this week shook you up a little bit, then I'm glad that you're still showing up. I'm glad that you're tuning into live streams and still putting in the effort. This stuff is not easy. And if you've been doing this for any amount of time, then you already know that. You don't need me to tell you. It is a difficult thing to make money at. And, shout out to you for continuing to try. It is something that took me a long time to become profitable. And I say a long time, I mean, it took me about 2.5 years, but, 2.5 years of just a lot of work. So respect to anybody else who's on the grind. So JPY pairs are down big today. You've got Swiss yen down a lot, Aussie yen, CAD yen. So yen pairs looking really quite weak here today on the heat map. This heat map just allows us to look at all the different currencies and how they cross against the others. So here's the euro pairs, for example. You've got euro yen down the biggest, with euro Aussie up the biggest. For those of you who are watching GBP pairs, GJ is down tremendously here today at minus 0.32%. I guess that's not tremendously, but it's down today. And then on the flip side, you've got pound Swiss up 0.37%. Swiss pairs, Swiss yen down the biggest, NZDCHF up the biggest, NZD pairs, NZDCHF up big, whereas AUD NZD is down. This is tough for me to look at. NZD Swiss is up today. I must have missed that move, even though I tried to catch it. Be fair here, here's a loss for you guys. I took a trade on NZDCHF. I got stopped out for a loss of $400 on this trade. Initially, my entry was pretty good. I bought right here. Price went in my favor. I was feeling pretty good about it. My stop loss was below. And then, sure enough, on this candle, the market fell apart. And I'm honestly glad that I just stopped out quickly. I took a small loss, even though, market has rebounded a little bit. You can always play that game like, oh, I should have held because now it came back, right? But that game, that mental, that thought process can be really dangerous because it can lead to some really bad habits. How long will it become to be a profitable trader, Robertson? There's no average that I can give you because I don't have that information. On top of that, it depends on you as a person. Some people take 5 years. Some people take 10 years. Some people take 2 years. The quickest I've ever seen is probably like 1.5 years, 2 years of just absolute treating it like a full-time degree. And even then, profitable trading doesn't mean you're printing money like crazy, because most of us don't start with $500,000 in a trading account, which is what you really need in order to make good sized gains consistently. You need 500K, $1 million, 2 million, right? That's how you really make good sized money in this game, is if you have a lot of capital. So many of us, most of us, do not have a lot of trading capital to begin. So even once you become profitable, when I became profitable, I was like, okay, I'm profitable, but doesn't mean I'm making a lot of money quickly, right? So for me, I didn't go the prop firm route. I know a lot of people love to the idea of going the prop firm route, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I had other sources of income. I'm a software engineer, so I had a job. I started, growing on YouTube a little bit, and that capital basis gave me sort of the kickoff point to actually have trading capital that was worthwhile. So there's no clear-cut route to success when it comes to trading. Everybody has their story. Everybody who is successful has gone through some seriously difficult roads to get there. It's possible to turn 10K to 1 million in a month. I don't think so. Not unless you are absolutely willing to lose every cent of that $10,000 along the way, and probably at a 99% chance of that happening. 99.99999. That's so hard to do, right? Nobody does that. If you do it, yeah, maybe if you rob a bank, yeah, that's the way to do it. But don't do that, because then you'll be sitting in jail, and that's not worth it either. And also, it's wrong. Anyways, gold here today. Here's gold on the daily chart, you guys. Gold continues to stay healthy. I mean, here's the thing, right? Gold bears haven't quite seen a full-fledged victory yet, right? We talk about this. The charts are a battle zone, right? You've got people fighting on both sides. You got the bulls, you got the bears. And when you're talking about gold here, when we are moving higher, what that's telling us is that the war is going in favor of the bulls. And so when we see stuff like this, right, we get this explosive move and then a higher low, right? I'm sorry, yeah, a higher low and then another higher low, right? And technically you could say, hey, well, there's a lower high right here. Well, yes, but we haven't quite broken through structure, right? So this could just be consolidating, right? So, that's the pro and con of higher lows and higher highs is, yes, they're helpful, but if you overanalyze them, sometimes you're just going to do something where it's just perfectly normal for markets to consolidate. So what I would say for the bears is gold would need to sort of close below this zone here, right? So it'd probably need to hit like 1765 in order for, and close around that area for sellers to take full control of this market and to see something like this, right? That would be my bias. That would be the first contention point, would be, can we actually get a break and close underneath major support at 1770? Until that happens, gold looks bullish. So my bias would be bullish until it breaks this level and fails. If that happens, we change our bias a little bit. We pause on the bullishness, right? And this is reactionary trading 101. You don't, assume that, again, many traders, they'll look at this and say, I'm bullish. It cannot possibly go wrong. I'm going to risk a lot amount of, like, this is going up, right? That's what they'll think. They're very confident. The problem is, it takes that one time where it goes against you and you lose everything. That's not worth it, right? So we always talk about what we're going to do if we're right, what we're going to do if we're wrong. So I am generally bullish on gold. I think it continues to look healthy. So as price pulls back, if you're looking at like the 1 hour chart, right, you could probably tighten stop loss if you wanted to, but the entry point off of the 4 hour and 1 hour chart for me is more looking at the bottom of this range. So 1775 with stop losses below the lows, right? That would be my point, to just cut the trade. And then thinking about a return back to the highs is possible, right? But again, stop out point is below this previous low. So you might even widen the stop loss just a little bit. So like that, right? So that would be my thought process with gold. This is not a trade I am in, but it's an interesting scenario, right? So again, gold bullish until broke in the other direction. So yes, I love your comment. Opimopo. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. I apologize. I'm a gold bull, but I have my stop loss. That is, hey, as long as you know what you're going to do if you're wrong. That's the problem. It's right. So many people do not think that way. They think like, I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to pile into a trade, and I can't possibly be wrong about it. Anyways, let's go look at the watch list, see what's going on. Okay, so watch list here today. We'll take a look at bias. I'm going to remove the neutrals from the list. And let's see. So dollar CAD, NZD CAD, Euro Yen, NZDJPY. What is NZDJPY? Ooh, this might actually be a setup today. NZDJPY. Nope, I was looking for it to pull back a little bit. Didn't quite do so, or at least NZDJPY doing okay here to the upside. I do want to be long this asset, but not where we currently sit. So I have to pause on that one. Let's go back to the watch. Let's keep going. Pound New Zealand on the sell side. Euro New Zealand kind of came down from its sell, and that's probably just because the trend here flipping back the other direction. Euro NZD. So we saw some resistance come in on Euro NZD. Interesting. CAD Swiss, Aussie dollar. Let's go look at AUD/USD here. And getting a sell bias on the edge finder here, which is interesting. So we've kind of flipped back, and I can kind of see this being a little bit sketchy, right? You actually got this trend line break to the downside, even retested resistance, sold off pretty quick. So that one might be an interesting trade to watch out for, but I don't think this thing has, see, I usually like to wait for at least a 38.2% retracement. So the setup could still exist, but it would probably be a deeper retest, like up into this area around 67.54, that I would be interested in that. So nothing quite ready yet for me on that pair. Let's keep going on. GJ coming in as a buy today. GJ. What is good old GJ up to today? 4 hour chart looking pretty good so far here today. Nice rally off of the lows. Big pin bar here, and then shot to the upside. How much do you risk on a single trade? It just depends. I risk a range anywhere from 0.25% to 2%. It just depends on the confluence as well as what the edge finder is showing me. But I don't risk the exact same per trade. Yeah, so let's keep going. Euro Yen, strong buy. Okay, Euro Yen. What is Euro Yen up to today? Did that give us a pullback? Euro Yen, okay. Might be coming into a possible pullback play. Euro Yen looks really clean. I actually really like this one. Euro Yen on the long side, pull back to, this is going to look like a 50%. Yeah, look at this, guys. I like this setup a lot. So far, this is my favorite setup of the day. Euro yen, 50% retracement right around 145.10. Looking possibly interesting on the buy side, right? So my thought process with this one is you have resistance here that we've broken through. You can see price clearly broke through it. Beautiful break. And even now lines up with the 50% retracement. So we're not there yet, but this is a swing trade I'd be interested in. For the meantime, you know, price could go, if you're a day trader, you know, maybe you're trading it back into that way. You know, we've had some lower highs come into this market. That might be a trade that you're in, just depends your style. Not one that I personally love, but off the hourly chart, you know, you get a dip down into this area. I like that 50% a lot. That is definitely going to be one that I'm watching out for. Had a trade consolidation breakout. Should I wait for a retest after a breakout? That's personally, I like to wait for retests, but I know a trader, she trades breakouts. You guys might know her on Instagram. Tori trades. She trades like breakouts, just buying the breaks. And I know other traders as well who trade that way, and they have success with it. So, you know, there's not one size fits all trading strategy. You know, if you go to my channel, you go to someone else's channel, people have different styles, and that's okay. It's what works for you. For me, I do like to trade the pullback. So although in this case, you guys, if you just traded the break of consolidation, you can see this would have been a beautiful trade, right? So nothing works 100% of the time. I personally like to trade breakout retests more than just the breakout, but yeah. So yeah, let's see. GBP pairs are seasonally sold off until February. Let's go look at that. I'm curious to see if we go to major pairs, we go to pound USD. Let's go look at seasonality and let's test that. So seasonality wise, December, we tend to see a positive rise for the pound. January, we tend to see a slight rise in the pound, but February, March, we tend to see the pound decline. April, May are mixed. June is bearish. July bearish. August bearish. September bearish. So seems like right now the pound USD seasonally is expecting to rise. And that's actually been the case. We've seen the pound do pretty well in the months that we expected it to do well, right? November, December, and January. And that's exactly what we've seen. So seasonality has played out really well. In fact, it's almost perfect. Look at this. October comes around, and during its seasonally expected areas of rising, that's exactly what's happened. It doesn't always work out like that. Like, it's not perfect, but seasonality is a really cool indicator that we track in the Edge Finder. It allows you to look month by month what an asset, any of these assets, by the way, if you do trade minor currency pairs, if you trade commodities like gold and oil, indices, you can see historically month over month what it tends to do, which is a really cool feature that the Edge Finder provides. If you don't have the software and you would like to try it out for free, we're going to drop a link in the chat right now. Click this link, fill out the form, and one of our team members will contact you about how you can try out the tool for free. So check this out. Again, seasonality is a really cool little indicator that we track inside of the Edge Finder. We provide that data for traders using our software. So if you want to access this, again, it's my company's trading software called the A1 Edge Finder. I use it to find all of my trade setups. It is the simplest tool in the world to use. You just go to your watch list. It shows you all the different metrics that we scan for, you know, seasonality, that one being talked about just now. It'll show us seasonally what different assets tend to do. So if you don't already have the Edge Finder, you want to try it out, click this link. We just dropped it in the chat. Click that link and you can fill that form out and someone from our team will reach out to you to help you out. So what I noticed here today is that the indices fell off, and someone's mentioning NASDAQ 100 in the chat. This is a little sad for me because I was really liking the idea of being long in the indices, and I made some money long on the indices, but we have fallen apart since then. So no longer am I bullish right now on the indices. The NASDAQ 100 has come down and broken through support that we marked. This key level now even looks potentially like resistance, though when looking at the Edge Finder, we don't have a strong bias one way or the other, right? On the supply side, we now see this area as sort of a red flag, right? That same spot that looked pretty healthy is now looking like, this zone, if it does get retested, I'd be more skeptical than anything, because we had major support that just fell apart on the NASDAQ. So, in the short term, it could go any way. But if price pulls back up into this area, I would say like technicals, a little more on the sell side, which is sketchy. We can also take a look while we're mentioning it. The S&P 500, same story. I was long on this asset, the S&P. I made some money on the long side. This pop to the upside was great. I was able to trail stops and closed out some profit along the way. The problem is now we've come all the way back down to support. And instead of holding this area again, we failed at this area. And so technically, and I mean technical analysis wise, this level of broken support is a red flag. And until we start to see some higher lows, I sort of just have to respect the price action that we're seeing and pause on that. Your customer support is very excellent. They worked out a payment plan for me. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. Hey, Josh, no problem. Yeah, we have a great team of people. We have a studio office here in Atlanta. There is 7 people here. Well, actually, hold on. There's 7. Yeah. There's 7 of us that are going to be in the office that facilitate these live streams and do all the software. And what's crazy to me is a lot of people don't even know that about us. They just see, they think I'm like working at home or something. Like I'm in a studio office, and I was thinking about this, Chandler and James. I think it would be cool to find some way to show the office and the live streams each day. I don't know how we would do it, but I was thinking about it because I was watching somebody else's content, and they have sort of like a studio where they can, like, on the live stream, it's like a check-in on the office. And I think, yesterday was a great example. Everyone loved Chandler and James. They stepped in and helped with the Wi-Fi outage. A lot of you guys might remember that from yesterday. It was awesome. They were awesome. And yeah, everybody was loving Chandler and James. So I think some way to incorporate more of that is coming. We're working on it. And yeah. So yeah, we'll find something. How can I calculate position size? So good question. I use my brokerage directly on tradingview.com. If you don't do that and you would like to, if you want to trade directly on TradingView, check out some of the brokers that are linked in the description. Today's stream is sponsored by 8cap. It's in the top right hand of the screen and also linked in the description. That's how I'm able to trade directly on TradingView. So if I want to take a trade, for example, if I wanted to go to Euro USD and I wanted to take a trade here, right? Let's just say I wanted to buy. Right? It'll pull up this calculator, and position size, as everything is calculated exactly as I want it, right? So if I wanted to go market, stop loss, I can buy, and it's directly linked to my live brokerage account. So I don't have to use MetaTrader, which is so nice. So yeah, I use TradingView. I trade directly on it. And if you don't, check out the link in the description. And you can sign up with 8cap, check them out. They've got some really cool features. I think they might have paused on the TradingView side, but they're coming back soon, I believe, in the new year. So it's a really great brokerage to work with, in my opinion, if you're outside of the US. If you're in the US, then I use Oanda, which is also linked in the description. And if you use those links, by the way, they are affiliate codes or affiliate links. They will help out the stream. They will help out the channel. If you guys would like to use them, we would really appreciate you. You don't have to, but it is very much appreciated if you sign up with those brokers. If you're thinking about doing that, use our link. Whatever you do, don't get tilted. Yes, not today. I'm in a good mood today. Everything is good. I was in a fine mood yesterday. It was just the internet outage it's not the first time it's happened. And it's because there's like construction in our area, and it's incredibly frustrating when when we have our whole team here in the office and then the internet goes out. It's like everything that we're working on gets put on pause, and just, yeah, that's costly for business. Is the Edge Finder free? We do have a free version available, but no, this software is something that we've built and invested a lot of money and time in. If this is something you're interested in, it is available. You can purchase it using the link in the description. And if you don't have it, you can try it out for free using that link that we shared in the chat. We'll drop it one more time for anybody who wanted to try out the Edge Finder. Just click that link and you can get access to it. One of our team members will reach out to you. So yeah, that is pretty much everything I had for you guys today. We're going to wrap up. The gold starting to move nicely here, so it'll be interesting to see if I can hold that zone and a nice. We'll see if we can get a nice close to the end of the week for gold. With that said, guys, thank you guys for tuning in to the stream. Don't go anywhere. The stream is going to continue with our next guest, who is taking over the stream right after this. Check it out.
Remember to check the description below if you're looking for a trading community to join.
Good day, guys. This is Kenzo, Xtrahot Forex. So thanks, Nick. I like the intro. So I hope everyone is doing great. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to start with the NASDAQ and just do the analysis. Don't forget that actually it's Friday and the market is not moving that much. So yeah, I will just check what's really happening on NASDAQ, and you can suggest other pairs that I'm supposed to analyze. But since I've been here, I saw that people like actually to trade gold, GBP USD, Euro USD, and the other ones, which means after I analyze actually NASDAQ, I'm going to go straight to those pairs. So when I'm analyzing NASDAQ, just know that once I'm done, I'm going to follow those pairs one by one. So yeah, I can see someone's already saying Euro USD already, so it's fine. I'm going to also check that for you. So as you know, guys, I follow trends. So actually my strategy is trend trading. So it means whatever that I do here, it has to be following the trends. And that is quite simple because like what I see now, we are on NASDAQ. It means I'll be looking for sell positions only. And that makes my job very easy. And when we check since last year, since December, or let's say January, the market has been dropping. So it means, what if maybe you were just looking for sell positions only, which means you were just going to make enough. So what do we see here? We see that the market, yes, is still very, 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 very strong on this downtrend. Already withdrawn the resistant line, which shows us that actually the market is still respecting that resistance. So for now, what I can do is I can just try to go closer and try to see actually what's really happening. So remember, we on Wednesday actually there was FOMC, or interest rates, which pushed the market to start to go lower. And the day before that we had like CPI, which was very great. That's why we saw actually the market pushing up, but the market was not able to break this area, as this resistance is very, very strong. This resistance is quite similar to a wall. So for the market to break that, it needs like enough bullish momentum to break the structure. You see, the market needs that to break that wall. So what's really happening here is, yes, the market actually was unable to break the structure, which tells us that, you know what, the market will do what? Continue pushing lower. Remember, as I told you that I follow the trend, it shows me that the market is actually trying to do what? To continue with a sell. Yes, we have some counter trends here, or support and resistance, which shows us that the market actually was consolidating. But after the breakout here, we're expecting a sell, and that sell might reach like around 10,400, you see, around this area. There it's where we have like a stronger support. It's where we have a stronger support. And I'm expecting the market to actually... I'm expecting the market to do what? To come here and respect this area before maybe, before, let's say, the market to break, to respect this area, or there is a chance for the market to break that and push the lower side. So that will be like seriously bad for the market if the market goes below that, because the market actually has been selling for quite some time. So I think maybe for NASDAQ is quite straightforward. Even if we change the time frame, I think maybe everything is just there for everyone just to see. You can see that the market actually broke out here. This is a retest. I think the market will be trying to go lower. So for those who wants to sell, something like this can work. I'm not saying go there, take trades and stuff like that. I'm just saying that will be a very nice trade if maybe we're going to continue with the structure. You see. So now let's push to the next one. I'll be going down. So obviously we're going to also reach Euro USD and the other ones. Or let me just go straight to Euro USD as people actually wants that. So let's just go straight to Euro USD. So yeah, now we are on Euro USD. So let's see, be sure to subscribe. Okay, CAD JPY. What about gold? Also, yeah, I'm also going to check gold. Yeah, so now we are on USD. Firstly, what I'm going to do is let's check this on a bigger time frame, which as I'm a daily trader or day trader, I'm just going to use 4 hours time frame. Why? Because bigger time frame, like way too bigger time frame for me, I don't think it makes sense, especially when I'm just day trading. So 4 hours to me, I use that as a bigger time frame. And for now, I can easily see that, you know what, the market is actually doing what? The market is actually uptrending. The market is pushing up. The market is pushing up. So that's why we see that we have a nice support area there. If you check, the market was moving very nice and slow. Then after the market started to be aggressive, pushing to the upside. Just know that those type of moves, these aggressive moves that you see here, most of the time is not sustainable. So the market actually can't keep up with this type of a trend. Mostly the market will end up doing what? Crashing or maybe selling off and coming back, touching this area as a support before pushing up. So let me show you this on a 4 hours time frame. So if you trade Euro USD, maybe you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to make sure I'm just going to do some. I'm not saying this is going to happen exactly, but mostly when we have aggressive, I don't know if you can see that. I think this is too small. So we have something like this. When we have a chart like this, it started to be aggressive. Mostly the market will come back, create something like that. So we expecting maybe, yes, the market can still buy, but something like this can happen where the market comes back, retest here on the support area before pushing to the upside. But the question will be, what can you do now? As I'm saying, the market is pushing up. So the best way is not to guess or to do something. The best way is to just follow the structure. If maybe now we see that, okay, this area was actually our previous resistance and the market broke out of that, and it seems like the market is respecting that, we just have to continue with that, obviously, because every time the market will tell us if maybe there's a breakout. So it means from this area, we expect this quite similar move as this. The market was respecting previous move, broke out. Then we see the market is starting to do what? To push the upside. Even here, I'm expecting the market to do what? To keep pushing up, unless if the market is going to break this area. You see this green area. If the market is going to break that, it's where I'm expecting the market to sell. Do you see that? Do you see that? So you see that. I hope people who trade Euro USD can understand what's really happening. So on top there, obviously, sorry, the market can create something like where we just going to call it what? A resistance. So because the market won't just go straight up, so the market will create this type of moves. You see this type of moves. So we also expect that type of consolidation move. Push up, consolidate, push up, consolidate. Because at the end of the day, you can see that the market was doing what? Consolidating. We have a support resistance, consolidate, resistance support. Here, we also expect the same thing, but it means we can buy around this area. Then once it comes back, actually, this helps us to know where we can take our profits. You see, if it creates this resistance, that is where we can know that, okay, we can have some tax profits around this area. You can lock, you can do something, but you just know that my take profit should be around this area. Why? This helps you that actually to plan your take profit. This will help you to touch your profit often, because sometimes you just place your stop loss very far, and most of the time, 90% of the time, the market doesn't really touch your profit. Why? Your take profit, because maybe you did not actually plan it according to the structure. You just said, oh, I want maybe this much. Then if the market reaches there, I'm just going to get out. 90% of the time, the market won't touch that, because mostly you find that the market touches this area, comes back, touches this area, comes back. Years after maybe the market can break out of that, but you find out that actually maybe it happens like once in a month or twice in a month, so it's not actually reliable. But the reliable method is where you place your TPs according to the structures. I hope you understand that. So I think we can go on gold. We can go on gold. So let's check gold. Let's check gold. I'm trying to check also the comments here. KJPY, South Africa. Okay. What about gold? AUD, USD. Can you check US oil too? Yes, I can check that. So let's go straight to gold, by the way. Then after we can do what? We can go on US oil. So, and actually US oil, I also like trading US oil. I think the structure moves very nice, straightforward. So currently what's really happening? Remember, this is a 4 hours time frame. So we can easily see the bigger structure, you see. So now, actually the trend that we are now is actually new. This is just a new trend, because before, actually, you can see that the market was doing what? The market was actually pushing lower and lower. So if you understand the trends, that's okay. Sometimes trends take long, like the trend can take even a year. So it means if maybe this is the start of the trend, there's a chance that this trend can last very long. So it means the market can still go up very long. So swing traders, obviously, maybe they understand this, or maybe they can actually try to take this chance or this opportunity. Maybe the market will push up for a year. Maybe we don't know, but that can happen. So yeah, besides that, what's really happening now? After we broke out of that, you see the market was going down, obviously. After we broke out of that resistance, that was a wall which was very strong. The market started to do what? To change the trend. The trend was going down. Now we're expecting the market to do what? To push the upside, because it's been going down. And obviously, there is enough buyers in the market. There is enough bullish momentum, even though the market might be trying to play games. But I think the market might be actually at the like the lowest areas that maybe we're going to see in a while. I think this area, the market will take time to reach there. It's possible. The market can take even a year, because these are the lowest areas since the market was selling. So there is a chance that the market can still push higher and higher. So what do we see on gold? I like the structure that I see currently. Why? Because the market is actually creating consolidation push, consolidation push. So consolidation push is something like this. The market creates something like this. It's not going to be perfect, by the way. So the market creates something like, let me change the color. The market creates something like this. Push up. Push up. I think I did not draw the yellow lines nice. So the market actually creates something like that. You see this? So you understand that, okay, even though the market is consolidating, but the structure is actually an uptrend. And if you master that, it means you're going to understand very well where you're supposed to buy, where you're supposed to get out, where you're supposed to wait, and that will help you actually to be a better trader. So something like this, now you see that creates a very nice uptrend. So I think even here, we might be starting to have that. So area, this is an uptrend, by the way. Remember, the structure won't be as perfect as I drawn there, but sometimes you can see that, whoa, this thing is much, quite very close to being perfect. So what we see here is we saw aggressive push after the breakout. Now the market started to consolidate, push up, consolidate. So what you expect now? we expect the market to do what? To push up again. And at the end of the day, maybe the market will be creating something like this. Let me show you with proper structures. Maybe the market creating something like this, because we have to think for what, guys? We have to think for what might happen tomorrow. I'm not saying we have to guess, but we have to think about what might happen as we already understand the trends. We have to see that before it can even happen. You see, so we might have something like this. So then the market might start to do what? Create something like this. Do you see that? So that sometimes structures like that does happen, and most of the time that happens. So now you can see that it's just a matter of combination of support and resistance. But when you check the structure, the market is actually pushing up. So whatever that we did here, whatever the analysis that we did here, it shows us that the market is actually on a very nice uptrend. But if maybe the market gets out of this support, I think this is very, very fresh. This trend is still very, very fresh. If the market breaks this area, yes, the market might be trying to sell, or the market might be trying to adjust the trend. You might find that maybe the market can still break this diagonal support just to come back and touch this one and start to push up. That happens most of the time. I hope maybe you understand that. So again, let's see. Can you check US oil? Let me check US oil for you. Someone says, do you have an opinion on baby peas course for beginners? Unfortunately, I don't have any opinion. What about fundamental? USD poised to go bullish. Hello, I see Keenan Matevola. How are you, man? I hope you're doing great. So now let's go straight to US oil. We smashed this one actually, but if you check there's nothing actually miracle about the structure. But sometimes we lose some other trades, even though we understand that the trend is going down, because sometimes the market can just reject aggressively and stuff like that. But when you check, you are still right, you see. So, but the best thing that we can do here is, firstly, we identify the trend. This is US oil, by the way. So you can see that the market actually was creating a very, very, very nice structure. This structure, we call it what? Downtrend. And on top there, we have some areas where we see that, oh, the market actually, it's respecting these areas. And when we connect those points, they make sense, because that is the wall that the market is respecting. And the direction is where the market is, the direction is doing what? Going to the lower side. That's why we call that downtrend, which simplifies our direction or the positions that we're going to take. Because we're going to say, okay, if it's a downtrend, what are we going to do is we're just going to do what? To look for sell positions. That makes our job very simple, because we're not going to look for buy, sell, and that you end up having like multiple so many trades actually, and at most of them you're going to lose. Buy, sell, to me, I think it's not working very nice. So it's better to find a trend and start to look for areas where I can start to do what? Continue with a sell. If the market is here, I'm just going to wait for it to push up again, then I can sell. If it's here, I'm going to wait for it to push, then I can sell. So let's go closer. And see what's really happening. I hope maybe you saw this nice. So what's really happening here is we can easily see that the market actually touched our resistance. Do you see that? Then after that, or let me just clear this so that I can show you the chart. Your chart actually should be clean, guys, so that you can see things. Everything should be like clean, so that we don't see wrong signals. So we have a structure like that, you see. So we can easily see that, no, even if we don't actually connect the lines or the dots, but you can see that this structure is actually doing what? The structure is actually going down. Even if now we can now start to point these areas and try maybe to connect them, they will actually make sense. So now our job is saying that, okay, if maybe these points are connecting very nice, why not we have an area that we can use and say, if the market comes back there, that is actually an opportunity. If the market comes closer to that area, that is also an opportunity. And not forgetting the horizontal areas, because the market moves like that. So what we're going to do is, firstly, we can draw our line. This is counter trend line, by the way. Remember, we also have our outer resistance. This is the inner one, which is not that strong. I always talk about this. So it's not actually that strong, you see. So what are we going to do is, we're just going to use this line that is going to guide us actually to keep selling. The reason I use two lines, by the way, is sometimes you can see here the market touch, here we cut in other candlesticks, here everything's perfect. So to solve that, I use that as a zone. Actually, that is actually a zone. Then I give the market a space just to move around. So now I have this type of a structure. And when we check, we see that, oh, now we actually on a very nice sell. We are on a downtrend. So we're just waiting for the market to do what? To come back there, and we keep selling. Also, not forgetting our horizontal structures. You can see the market touches there. I don't know if we have any structure there. I don't think we have any horizontal there, but it's fine because the market was very closer to what? To our resistance. But we have to respect these points. You see these areas where the market created, mostly the market will come around those areas and create something. Or some they will say, okay, why not withdraw something like that? You can do that, but just know that it's not really it's not really like, it's not like it's going to command the market just to respect that area, you see. So you can have something like this as a support. You know that, oh, there's a chance we are on a downtrend. We know that there is a chance for the market to do what? To push up. Yes, there's also another chance for the market to break. So if you miss the market where it is now, as we already sold, it means you have to wait for the market, for the market to break. Yeah, we have something like that. For the market to break this area, remember this area we're going to use this as our first take profit. If the market doesn't break, because there's a chance for the market to push up again. If it breaks, we have another chance to do what? We can keep buying like that. Or maybe you can just lock their first profits and continue like that. Why we do that? We continue with the trend. The trend is still going down. That's why we say we're looking for sell positions only. So let me check if maybe I can check another pair. I see New Zealand CHF, CHF JPY, Euro USD. I think, did I do? Okay, I think I did AUD JPY. Okay, CHF JPY. I think people, they want CHF JPY. Those are some of the pairs that I don't actually check, but we can check that and see if maybe we can get something from there. So let's see, CHF. Okay, it's like CHF is the one that people want. Let's check that. Sorry, CHF JPY. Wanda. So let's check that. So I think maybe I took some time actually. I did not actually play around with CHF JPY for quite some time. But I think, yeah, you can see I actually did something before here. So what I'm going to do is I just need to clear that so that we can start from scratch together and see actually what's really happening. I know this, I don't know, do you call what the I think it's not exotic, or it's a minor pairs or something, exotic or whatever. I forgot the name. So what's really happening here on a 4 hours time frame? If maybe you are not someone who actually trades CHF JPY, to me, I think I see something like this. Do you see that? before we even draw any line. I think I see the market is pushing up, even if maybe it's pushing up a bit slowly, but you can see that the market is actually on an uptrend. So do we have areas that we can connect to make our statement to be like, whatever that we say, we have to able to show that on the chart. When you say there is an uptrend, can you connect the line to say that, or to prove that? Let's do that. So let's get the points actually, or the structures where we can connect this. We can start from wherever we are, or maybe we can start from like current structures and try to do something like this. If it doesn't connect, we don't really force. I hope you heard that. So I think the structure is something like this. I think we have something like this. I'm going to draw the second one. Yeah, I think after here, we're going to go on US30. You see now, this is the structure that we have. But if you check, I think even inside here, we also have some certain structures that we can also try to connect, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to apply two structures. This, I see, it seems like something can make sense there. Let's try that. Or firstly, let me try something like this. I see a horizontal area. I see a horizontal area there. Remember, this is 4 hours time frame. Whatever that I'm identifying there, it means on a smaller time frame is going to be way, way, way too clear. So let's go here. I see something like this. Do you see that? But still, even if we see this type of structures, we know very well that we actually are on an uptrend. We are actually pushing up. So on top there, I see something also. I don't know if it's me. I see a structure which I can say, I can't say this thing is going down. Let's see. I can't say this thing is doing something like this. Yeah, but I think it's doing that. Okay, I think it's going to be like this. I wanted to draw a very nice horizontal line, something like this, but I think I will be robbing myself. I'm not touching enough points, so, or enough structure, so I'm just going to use something like this, because it seems like the market is pushing down every time it touches that resistance. So that will be the one which is going to be reasonable. Let's just use this. So now as we already know that we are on an uptrend, because now we have like multiple lines, and I think they're not actually necessary. So what we're going to have is something like this. Now let's try to perfect our lines. Nice. You should take your time on your analysis. Yeah, I think what we have here is we have a very nice uptrend. You can see that the market is actually pushing up. But where we are now, we can see that the market already created something. Actually, it was a resistance. You can see that the market created a very nice resistance. So from that resistance, now we have a nice support. You see that? So on top there, the market is slowly pushing lower. Then for those who know, or for those who know these terms, they will just call that a wedge. A wedge, sort of a triangle. So the market is doing what? After touching these areas, the market is doing what? The market is pushing lower. So it means the market, it will squeeze like this until the market decides to break this area and push the upside, or maybe to break this support area and push the lower side. So currently, if maybe you understand, if you understand whatever that you're doing, you can still take those sell positions. But to me, remember, we are still actually on an uptrend. Whatever that you do, they should be like sort of hit and run. It's not something that you can hold for the whole week, because the market is still actually, CHF is still bullish. So there's a chance that the market can still push the upside. So it means you're just going to hit and run, hit and run. here you can, when the market reaches the support, you can still hit and run when the market is pushing up, but the market is squeezing. So this small the moves there, they're just going to get smaller and smaller, which means it's going to end up as a consolidation. So which means it's not going to be fruitful for you to trade around those structures. So that is a wedge. I hope you understand that. The best way to trade the wedge is just to wait for a breakout. Wait for a breakout, take the trades above this or below this support area. Do you see that? So let's check. That's all right then. So Euro JPY. Please check Euro JPY. Okay. Let me try to check few comments very quick. That's right. Ethan, Africa is home. Okay. How can I find you to tune into your channel? I think they did share my channel there. Check on the comments. You will check my channel. Did I miss gold analysis? I think, yeah, you did miss gold analysis. I did gold analysis. So let me check Euro JPY then. Euro JPY. You see, when we enjoy doing this analysis, even the time is flying. I already have like 30 minutes here. That's crazy. So that's very quick. That's very quick. But anyways, I like this like every day. So let's clear this actually. Let's clear the chart. Yeah. So actually, what's really happening on this Euro JPY? The first thing first, we are on a 4 hours time frame. This will help us to understand the trend. Whether you go on daily time frame, 4 hours time frame is going to also cover you on that or accommodate that. You're going to get the same structures. So now, what do we see? I think you already, if you understand the way we say we follow the trends, now you will start to understand that, okay, from left to right, most of the time, if you don't really understand the trends, you will see that the market is moving from the bottom side to the upside. So it's like the market is doing something like that. That is actually an uptrend. If it's a downtrend, you will start around this area and then the market will be going to your right, but bottom right, you see. So now we can see that, okay, for now, before you even draw the line, I think you can see that, no, man, I already have a mental ruler that can show me that maybe these points, they can actually connect because before you even draw the line, it means that you see something, you see. So let's try to connect if maybe that makes sense to other guys. So let's see, because the trends will help you to have better decisions. You're not going to get confused whether to buy or whether to sell. No, you just know that, oh, we are on an uptrend. We're just going to wait for positions or for the market to create structures where we can do what? Where we can buy. We are on on an uptrend. You see. So now we have something like this. We can make this like because this is a dotted line. So it means actually our double lines, they help us to say we have a zone. So from this structure, it's not very nice structure, and it's fair because the market won't just make things simple for us. But what I like is the market respected our support area very nice. You see that the market did not break that for quite some time now, maybe before May, I think maybe for more than 6 months now. So which means now we have to identify areas where the market is respected. Can we identify those areas? So let's try. Let's try together. So let's try. So it seems like the market is actually, I want to show you something actually before we try. So the market is actually doing what? Pushing up, down, down, down. So to me, it's obvious that the market might still push to the upside because now we have a structure which moves like that. Do you see that? Yes, we might have most of the candlesticks just going up and down, but once we start to draw the lines, they're just going to make sense, right? So let's try to draw them. Let's try to draw them. Let's go closer and see if maybe we can get something. Let's try to draw something. Yeah, I think we see something there. If you draw maybe the bottom one, it will help you to make sure that, oh, it makes sense. You can see that the market was going down there. So it means around this area, because we know that actually when they teach us, we say, okay, mostly I'll be buying around the support area, yes, but not every time, because the market was creating this down structure here. You can buy, then sooner or later the market still pushes lower because we are under this structure. We understand that we are on a buy trend. So if you bought here, you should be like extra careful that before the market reaches this area, whether you get out or something, you see, you have to just be like extra safe. So what we see here is the market just broke out of this structure. Now the market is pushing to the upside. So the question is this structure trying to retest or something? So let's try to see. Maybe the market is trying to retest. Let me just do double lines. We have double lines. I think around this area, we also have something. It's not really that important. I think it's not really that important. So I think around this area, we will wait for the market to show us that structure. Where the market broke out, maybe the market wants to retest before pushing up. Remember, what I've showed you is, let me show you that again. Let me show you that again, so that you don't really forget what's really happening. The market is creating this type of moves. So it means there is a chance for the market maybe, and when unfortunately the lines that I've showed you, they're just straight, but mostly the market will be doing something like this. So maybe here the market is just breathing, the market will still push the upside. So maybe that the market is creating that. So there is enough chance maybe for the market to do what? To respect this area, then to push the upside. Remember, we are still on a nice uptrend. And when we had this small downtrend here, that was not surprising because the market was already high and it created some structures. Now we're breaking out of that. And remember, sometimes it confuses to say we have a downtrend, but we are on an uptrend. It's not actually a trend, you see. It's just, we can just call that a reversal, because if maybe we have something like this and then the market pushes, so you can't call this part, let me change the color there. You can't call this part a downtrend. I don't think we're supposed to call that. The trend is the whole thing. So the trend is actually doing what? Pushing up. Yes, sometimes the market has to do what? The market has to breathe. The market breathe, pushes up, breathe. It's like the market is running. Run, breathe, run, breathe, run, breathe. So when the market is breathing, we don't just say, oh, maybe now the market is changing the trend. Nope, we know that the market will eventually do what? Push up again. So now I'm expecting the market to reverse. I mean, maybe around this area, the market to find maybe a support, to create a structure, then the market might still continue pushing up. What I see is, I see some very nice bullish momentum. We might have something like this. Remember, this is a 4 hours time frame. It's not like you're supposed to use that for entries. Maybe something like that. If we can go closer, maybe you will see that. Something like that. Do you see that? If the market is going to respect those areas. So let me check something. Maybe you guys have something. How can I find? Okay, I think I did read that. I love your stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you very much. So please check EuroCAD. Okay, let me check EuroCAD. Anything that you want me to check, let me check EuroCAD. It's like someone wants to check EuroCAD. Or before I check this, I think I was supposed to actually show your US30. what's really happening on US30 before we go on Euro CAD. So what's really on your US30 because this is a pair or maybe indices that I like to trade, and I do this analysis every day for this. So what's really happening is we have a very nice structure. You can see that the market is been doing what? The market has been showing us that I'm selling, guys. I'm selling, I'm selling, I'm selling. But and on top there, we also have this nice resistance which we had, and the market kept respecting that area until the market decided to break out that area. The market was tired of that downtrend. We were happy, by the way. Then the market broke out of this area structure. You can see actually this was a downtrend, right? The market was downtrending. This is the resistance. Then the market broke out. From that breakout, we see that there is too much actually consolidation. And consolidation to me is like the market is still deciding, especially after the breakout. The market is deciding. So mostly don't participate in a consolidation that happens after the breakout, because mostly the market is still thinking whether should I push up or should I come back to my original trend, which was a downtrend. So what we see is we saw the market consolidating. We had a very nice push where it was a CPI. I think we smashed that one. And then after interest rates, federal rates actually, they increased they increased them with 50 basis points. Then that is starting to give a bad actually move for US30 or for the market. Now we're starting to see dollar getting stronger again because they increase the rates, even if it's not like 75 basis points, but that is still increase. You see, they still increased something. So now, as I said, this was actually deciding. You can see that the market was just playing around this area. So we were waiting for the market to break this resistance. Then we can say, yeah, now we're ready to buy. Or if the market breaks this support, we will say, now we're ready to do what? To sell. And it seems like that is now happening. I see that actually the market, you can actually the market breaks out of this resistance. Now we had a very nice retest. Remember, it's a 4 hours time frame. So now we had our sell pending order, which the market is not really moving that much. I'm not surprised it's still Friday, but I think the market is getting back to our previous trend, which is a downtrend. So I think still has a long way to go. A long way to go. Maybe we might reach these areas again, 28,400, somewhere there, which is like seriously crazy low. But we will see what will happen actually. And next week, from next week and going further, we have like enough holidays. So we will see. We will see what will happen. But I think the market will just consolidate around those areas. So Euro what? Euro CAD. I think maybe you understand what we see here. I think the market is now trying to go back on that downtrend again. So let's check. Let's check gold. I think we did check gold. Euro CAD also. Okay, let's check Euro CAD. I will end up with gold then. I will end up with gold, Euro CAD. Because some of those pairs, guys, I don't really trade them, but it's fine to just analyze something that you don't actually do every day. Euro CAD. Wonder. So Euro CAD is here. Oh, I do some analysis. Hey, this is crazy. This is crazy. The trend is like seriously, whoa. This thing is flying. How do you keep trading this? It's just flying like seriously high. So actually, yeah, it's fine. What do we see here? I think this one is quite straightforward. No one will actually sell this where it is. And it's also difficult to buy on something which is just continuing buying like that, because there is a chance for the market just to sell off. But maybe it's because I think Euro, they were just increasing the rates. I think it's Europe. I think days before, I think even yesterday, or today maybe, I think there was rates increase and stuff like that. So I think this is the reason behind that. So let's check what's really happening then. Let's just check that perfectly. So firstly, we need to connect the structure. Obviously, we can't just move like that. That won't actually make sense. But can we find something? Can we really find something? We need to find that out. So firstly, I will draw this next lines at this. I think this is the reasonable. I think this is like reasonable uptrend that we can point out. That one here is crazy. That like is seriously crazy. So where can we keep buying? Because already now we identified that this is an uptrend. This is actually an uptrend. So can you find the areas where you can actually buy? That might be some serious difficult thing to check, but let's just use a smaller time frame, because to identify those structures, sometimes you need a smaller time frame. I'm just going to use a 1 hour, and I'm just going to zoom in and out just to find area sorry, areas where I can keep buying. I think the market obviously will be creating something here. The market will be seriously creating something. We understand that the market was just pushing up like this, but can we connect some few points here? Let's try. Let's try. Let's be creative. Let's be creative. Let's see this thing. Firstly, you just have to point. You just have to draw something so that you can start to see things. Draw and start to move something. Once you just think without doing that, sometimes you just limit yourself. I think I see something there. So can we identify areas like this? Let's try. They won't be perfect, by the way. Let's try. Let's try to point out those areas. I think we might be up to something here. Seems like it's not actually bad. Seems like it's not actually. Oh, sorry. I think this is not as bad as we thought. You see? Now we see areas that we were not seen before. I think even around this area, it's something. I will just push it up to there. So actually, the market is giving us this up down vibe. Do you see that? So it means, yeah, you can keep smashing this, because it's actually creating a very nice move where it's creating range, or consolidate, push up, do the same thing, push up, range, push up, range. You see that? So I think that is something that we can use. And I think you have to learn these things. You have to learn these things. You can't just see them if you don't actually practice. I think the horizontal ones are the mostly reliable one. I know some people, they can say, okay, so I also see maybe something like a diagonal move. Yeah, we can mostly see that, but mostly you're going to miss enough trades if you just continue using only one diagonal line. So that's why I prefer using horizontal lines. So now currently what we have, because the best thing that we can do, or the best thing, the better way to analyze, is to have maybe the final answer to say whether we're going to buy or we're going to sell. So for those who maybe trade a Euro CAD, I think around this support area, it's where they're supposed to do what? Take buy positions. Do you see that? So now we also expecting the same thing to happen here. So around the support, it's where they can do what? They can have those buy positions, something like this, because it's been happening. It's happening. So on a bigger time frame, like there's no structures. If we even go lower and lower, it's going to be like perfect. If we go and use 15 minutes, all the structures, they're now going to make sense. Do you see that? So another thing is you have skill on combining your time frames. Try to understand these time frames, because sometimes not understanding what's really happening on a bigger time frame and a smaller time frame, it's also it's also a lack of information. You need to understand that. You need to understand. You just know that if you want to see things way much better, you have to go on a smaller time frame. Maybe a bigger trend or a nice trend, bigger time frame. So you can't just go on 15 minutes just to actually get on 15 minutes. You see, this I was trying to show you. Mostly you can see them on a 4 hours time frame. You see. So I think also EuroCAD. I think this is EuroCAD. Okay. So I think on a bigger time frame now we have an idea what will happen. So we expecting moves like this because they repeat themselves too much. Like most of the time, we expecting small move. So on this one, I can say just buy, relax. Then the market will start to push in your favor if you are following the trend. But I don't really trust this type of aggressive trend like that. There's enough chance or enough room for the market to do what? To just sell off before pushing up again. Yes, we see that we are on an uptrend, but you can't just keep buying where, hey, I think it's like seriously like risky. But that is like extra risk buying there. But yeah, I'm not saying the trend is going to change like anytime soon. I just think maybe the market actually will be maybe reversing in few minutes. So yeah, I think guys, I think for today is enough, guys. So I'll just check maybe gold for other guys. As they say, other ones they say they want gold. So yeah, but I think we already did gold, guys. I think we already did gold. We can see that yes, the market is on an uptrend. So we expecting the market to do what? To keep pushing to the upside. Do you see that? So I'm expecting the market to keep pushing to the upside. If you miss gold, please try to go back. You can actually try to go back and get what we covered. So I think, yeah, that's enough for today. And thanks, Nick, for giving me this opportunity. You can just check the link below to check my channel. So thanks to everyone who already here who is supporting the channel. Nick here, thank you very much. We'll meet you next week.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember to check the description below if you're looking for a new broker or looking for a trading community to join. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.